Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. I'm so happy that you've taken some time out of your busy day to join me on today's episode, because I really feel like you're going to get lots of key takeaways and lots of easy practical tips that you can apply to your everyday life. I know for me, listening to a podcast, I tend to listen to my podcasts when I'm walking on the treadmill at the gym. I feel like it really helps me just to switch off or listen to something, or listening to like a new topic, or listening to some new motivation or inspiration. So I hope that this podcast just gives that little moment in your day that's just for you. Now, I originally wasn't sure if I was going to share this episode because for me, I'm all about spreading motivation and inspiring you and sharing that positivity. But I also feel like I need to create these episodes and share these things with you, because something that I'm super passionate about is I'm super passionate about sharing the not so great stuff and the things that I truly believe as women that we should be talking about more and we should be normalizing more. So that is my why behind sharing today's episode with you. Now, it probably a little bit of a giveaway from the title. So if you are feeling in a funk with your food and fitness routine, here's your step-by-step guide to get back on track. And that is what today's episode is about. So by the time that you're listening to this was probably around a month ago, and I was in a huge healthy eating and exercise funk. I have had these moments and these seasons before in my life. I wanted to create this episode with you so that when you do find yourself in a funk, you can shift your mindset and that you can try and find some really simple ways that you can reinvigorate your passion for wellness and for healthy eating and moving your body and looking after yourself in some super simple ways. So if you looked at my social media and my Instagram on the Active Bod, so you'll see that I was still eating a healthy breakfast. I was still going to the gym. I was still exercising and things, but I just wasn't feeling it. Like I was getting up in the morning and going, ugh, I've got to go to the gym. I don't want to go to the gym. I was looking for excuses of why I shouldn't go to the gym. And like I just wasn't enjoying my food. I just wasn't really inspired and motivated to cook myself a healthy meal and to try new things. And I just really felt like in a funk. Now, don't get me wrong, I still showed up. Like I still did some gym workouts and I still sort of ate some healthy meals when I felt like it and all those kind of things, because, I had to step outside of myself, and I know that doing those things is for my highest good. And I know that if I completely stopped, I would feel like absolute rubbish. So I was still showing up and I was still doing something, but I just had zero effort or just zero interest in taking care of myself. Now, I have had these seasons in the past, and that's why I want to talk about it today, because today I got up, I went to the gym, and I feel amazing, and I don't feel like I'm in that food and fitness funk anymore. But I know when you get in it, you get into this sort of mindset spiral, as I did, and I'm like, why do I not want to go to the gym? Like, what is wrong with me? Why am I not feeling this today? And I just want to start normalizing that it's totally normal to have a bit of a funk or just not feel in alignment with what you're doing. And even like the best of us, I'm a pretty healthy person. I'm pretty consistent with my healthy habits and with my wellness and eating my protein, all those kind of things. Even the best of us go through these periods in our lives where we're just not really super pumped about the things that we're doing. And it's totally okay. And I just want to share this with you today to make it a totally normal thing. So In that moment though, it doesn't feel great because you think, well, why? Like, where's my mojo gone? Like, I just can't be bothered and I just don't want to do this. And unfortunately, sometimes it can be other factors that are outside our control. It can be that we're tired or that we're exhausted or we've had a lot on at work or we're just not feeling it. But it's really easy to get back into alignment in yourself if you allow yourself some time and you just focus on changing a few simple things. So for me, I did recognize that I was a bit tired. Like, I just was feeling more tired than usual. So that for me was one of my triggers as to why maybe I'd kind of felt like I wasn't getting up and jumping out of bed in the morning, because I do normally, like, as weird as that sounds, I do normally wake up and genuinely want to go and work out because I like it. I get the endorphins. I feel good. It gives me energy to start my day. It's one thing in the morning that's just for me before anyone else can get to me and is making demands on me. Like, I'm just getting up and starting my day with some morning movement has been like something that I've genuinely enjoyed doing. And when you hit this point where you're like, oh, I don't really want to do this and I just can't be bothered. And even when I was at the gym, I was going, but just not feeling it and then just leaving and not feeling any different. So it's really not a nice place to be in. But I want to share this with you because, like I said, I feel fine today. I'm out of my funk. I'm back into my normal routine. And I just want to let you know, like, if you've had a funk, if you're in a funk, if you're feeling like you're moving into a funk, it won't last forever and it will pass. But I just want to also remind you that it's also not an indication to just not do anything. Like, I think for me, if I just kind of went, right, well, that's it. I'm not going to go to the gym for 2 weeks. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit on the couch and eat chips and things like that. Like, I know if I did that I would just feel rubbish. So when you do get in a funk, just remember it's not an excuse to just not do anything and to not take care of yourself at all, but just to maybe adjust your expectations, modify what you would normally do, and just give yourself some leeway and some kindness and go, you know what, that's okay right now. And you can pull back a little bit and you can get back into things when you're not feeling so funky. And so you sort of just have to, you're not going at like 95 to 100% like you normally would. You're just going at like 60 or 70. And you know what? That's okay. Because like I said, if you just keep showing up where you can and how you can, the funk will disappear and you'll start to feel like you want to show up again because you know that it makes you feel good. Okay, so when you are in a funk, now your funk can be related to food. You can be just like, you're making your breakfast or your lunch and you're like, you're not really feeling this. Like, it's all right. I'm just not excited about it. It could be around your food and what you're eating. So you could be in a bit of a funk. Like, your food should excite you. If you are not going, oh, yes, I get to wake up and have this for breakfast. Or if you're not going, oh, I'm going to make this for lunch and you're excited about the food that you're eating, you need to change the food that you're eating. Like, your food should be exciting. You should look forward to it. You should enjoy the food that you're eating. If you're not, that is definitely a reason to look at making some changes and to move you out of your funk. So like I said, your funk can be related to food. Your funk can also be related to fitness and exercise. And mine, I think, was probably a little bit of the food, but mostly more the fitness and the exercise. Like, I go to the gym, I go for walks, I do all those kind of things, and I just didn't want to do it. I didn't see the purpose in it. I didn't feel like it. So my funk was really, really focused on the exercise. But it can be food, it can be exercise. So like, just know that the funk can come in many forms. It can be both. So your food and your exercise, or it can be one or the other. So for me, it was mostly the exercise, but also a little bit of the food as well. Okay, so you're feeling in a funk. You're just not wanting to work out. You're not wanting to meal prep. You're not wanting to eat healthy. So what do you do? So I'm going to give you these examples and I'm going to tell you about what I did and then also what you can do so you can sort of see how I've got myself out of my healthy eating and fitness funk. Okay, so number one is I shifted my perspective. The old me, say for example, would have beaten myself up. What's wrong with me? And why am I not feeling this today? And why do I not want to go to the gym? And I'm a failure and I'm never going to make this work and I'm never going to get to my end goal and all those kind of things. I shifted my perspective and I went, you know what? I'm not feeling it right now, but I know that if I just keep showing up in some capacity, in some way, that feeling and that motivation and that interest in looking after myself will come back. And it did. So sometimes you just need to give yourself some time, some patience, show yourself a little bit of kindness. Like I said, change your expectations of yourself. Like I said, I still went to the gym, did a bit of something, and then I came home. So I was still just doing a little bit of something, but just shifting your perspective and going, it's just a season. And for whatever reason, I'm tired or I'm just not feeling it, and it will pass and I will get back to feeling like I want to take care of myself again. Okay, tip number 2, I mixed things up. So for me, my normal daily routine would be to get up. The gym is the thing that I do the first part of the day. It's the first thing I do when I wake up. So I have my pre-workout, I get up, I go to the gym and I exercise. So whether that's weight training, it might be a class, it might be walking on the treadmill, some cardio, whatever it is. I always do it first thing in the morning because personally for me and being a busy working mum, I find the best time for me to exercise is in the morning. It's because I know I get super busy and I know that if I leave it to the end of the day, it's just not going to happen because I'm too tired. I'm not interested. The kids are tired. Like it's just not going to happen. So for me, exercise first thing in the morning. So that's my routine. So what I did to try and get myself out of the funk is I mixed things up a bit. So instead of doing that early morning workout, I did a few days where, say, I would get up and I would do work with my Healthy Eating Hype Gal members. I'd pack up some of the Real Nourish meal prep mixes orders, and then I'd go to the gym. So I'd go to the gym sort of like mid-morning, like sort of towards lunchtime, to try and break up that routine and that monotony, because it can feel like that sometimes when you're doing something day in, day out and all those kind of things. It can feel a bit like routine, a bit boring. So I'd mixed up the time of the day that I was actually doing my workouts. And it really helped to sort of shift me out of that funk and out of that routine and sort of like being in that sort of day-to-day grind. Are you tired of the endless struggle to eat healthy and nail your meal prep routine? Introducing the Real Nourish Do-It-Yourself Meal Prep Mixes, the ultimate solution for busy women like you. When I went on my own personal health journey, I discovered the many benefits of meal prep. And after much searching, I just couldn't find a meal prep mix that was designed especially for women. So I literally decided to create my own. Trust me, as a busy working mum, meal prep has changed my life. Our mixes are packed with protein to keep you energized and feeling full. Our mixes can be whipped up in under 10 minutes, perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Using our award-winning pancake tray bake mix means you can say goodbye to standing over a hot stove, flipping pancakes. Simply add water, toss in your favorite fruits, and bake. If you're ready to revolutionize your meal prep game, you can find my mixes at theactivebod.com or follow us on Instagram at realnourish_. And as a special thank you to our Healthy Her community, we have a discount code. So just enter the code, TheHealthyHer, at the checkout. Okay, the other one I did was not just mixing up the time of the day, but also mixing up what I was doing. So I had a break from doing some weights for that week. I just did some cardio. I did some stretching. I actually went and did a class. Like I hadn't done a class for ages. So I went and exercised instead of going to the gym and training and exercising on my own where the weights are. I went and did a class. So lots of loud music, lots of other people, like a really sort of fun, vibrant environment. And that really helped change up and shift up my perspective and help get me out of my funk. So it can be mixing things up, the time of the day that you work out. It can be mixing up the class, like what you're doing. Like if you're in a fitness funk and you're like, I always go to Pilates and I'm not enjoying Pilates, what's wrong with me? It might be a good idea to take a break from Pilates for a little while and try something else. You know, it doesn't mean that you're never going to go back to doing Pilates. It just means that for now, it's not really motivating and inspiring you to move your body, so you can go and try something else. So don't feel like you always have to stay in that same thing. Also to mix it up by still doing your Pilates if that's what you want to do, but mix it up with like a walk or like go for a swim or a bike ride. Do something else to break up that routine and that day-to-day stuff, because often that's all it needs is just a small little tweak and a change here and there, and you can be back to feeling super pumped and super energized for your workouts and for healthy eating as well. This is an important one. Tip number 3, I went online and I ordered some new activewear. Now, if people are still telling you that new activewear does not make a difference to your workout, please don't listen to them. It honestly does. When you have nice activewear on, think about it. Like if you rock up to your class or Pilates or yoga or the gym, or you want to go for a run and you're wearing an old pair of tracksuit pants with holes in them, a t-shirt with the stains on it from like the spaghetti that you had for dinner last night, how are you going to perform? How are you going to show up for that workout? You're just not going to feel it, are you? Whereas if you have new activewear, if you feel comfortable, if you feel good, if you feel confident, you are going to show up differently for your workouts. So a big one for me. And to be honest, I've actually been pretty good and I haven't bought a lot of activewear lately. So that was one of my reasons that I justified it. But I was like, you know what? I know the impact of some new activewear and the impact that it can have on how you show up for yourself and how you show up for your workout. So for me, I was like, right, so I've got some new leggings. I've got a couple of cute little tops and things that I can wear to the gym. And shifting what you're wearing to the gym, getting some new activewear can really change the way that you show up, and it will help you move you out of your exercise funk because you'll show up for your workout and you'll feel good. You'll feel confident. You'll feel comfortable. You'll feel like you're ready to move, like you're feeling active. Like they call it activewear for a reason, because when you put it on, it makes you want to feel active and do active things. So if you are in need of some activewear upgrade, definitely go and buy yourself a few new pieces, and you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. There's so much great, cheap activewear out there now, and it can make a significant difference to how you feel. And like I said, it can really help to move you out of a fitness funk. Okay, tip number 4. Like I mentioned earlier, it was mostly the gym and the exercise part, but I was also feeling it in regards to like the meals that I was eating. Like I just wasn't particularly inspired. And to be honest, it's probably because I was sort of thinking about this, and it's probably comes down to the fact that I do spend a large amount of my time creating recipes and food for the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership, for my meal plans, for other women, all those kind of things. And I'm constantly always thinking about this is what they want, this is what they need, all those kind of things. And sometimes I often forget to sort of check in with myself and what I'm feeling like and what I feel like eating. So I looked around and found some new recipes, and I was thinking of like ones that I wanted to create, but I'd gotten too busy and I hadn't had time to try them yet. Like I have a book that I write down all of my recipe inspo, all of my ideas and things. And there was quite a few in there that I kept going, yeah, I'm really going to test that one out. I'm really going to try that one out. It sounds really yummy and it's going to make a great, quick, high protein, healthy, quick meal prep lunch for my busy work days. And I've just never got around to it. So I got out my recipes and I created some of those recipes for my lunches, for my breakfast. And it just ignites that food passion in you. You know, like I said, if you are on a diet or you're eating or you're following a meal plan or whatever and you're not excited about the food, get another plan, because your food should excite you. And it does. And like I said, just trying those new things, I was like, this is delicious. This is amazing. I was really excited to have my meal prep waiting for me in the fridge, or the breakfast that I made the night before. A simple thing like testing out some new recipes, changing up your menu, what you're eating that week, try some new things. It's often enough just to sort of spice things up and get you excited about food again. Because like I said, your food should excite you. You should feel excited about the food that you are eating. Okay, tip number 5. I took my movement outside. There is so much research about the benefits that you can get from getting outdoors, especially with our current society. We spend way too much time inside. Being outside is very grounding. And what actually happens is like, because you're outside and there's all this open space around you, even if you're in your backyard or even in your front yard, and it sort of creates a sense of freedom for you, a freedom for your body, freedom for your mind. So I took some of my walks and things outside, and it is a game changer for not only for your body, but for your mental health. It helps clear your mind. So there are so many benefits to just getting your exercise and your workouts outside. Fresh air, in the sun. Like I said, it's all that open space because it gives you that sense of freedom and that sort of sense of like opening up your body and opening up your mind. So definitely recommend, if you're feeling in a funk, to put your favorite runners on or your sneakers and just go for a walk, get outside, get in nature, even if it's just in your local area, the local park, like around the block. If you're near the beach, like I love a good coast walk. Like there's just nothing. Like I just love going for a good coast walk. Of course, there has to be a coffee or an acai bowl afterwards, because hey, why do we go for a coast walk if there's not a coffee and an acai bowl afterwards? But yeah, definitely recommend taking your walk or your workouts outside, even if it's just your yoga mat and you take it out to the front yard and you do your yoga or your stretching out in the front yard, whatever it is, take it outside because it will make you feel amazing. I hope that you've got lots of useful tips today of how you can get yourself out of a funk. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you, because throughout all of the times, like I said, the funk kind of comes and goes in waves. Like I'll be great for ages, feeling really good, showing up for myself, and then you hit this kind of funk. And I've had this come up to me, and it's popped up a few times. And one thing that I've realized every single time that I've hit this funky stage when it comes to healthy eating and moving my body and exercising is that it's up to me. There is no one else that is going to give me what I need and what I'm missing. No one else. If you are constantly looking outside of yourself to find the answers to make yourself feel better, you're constantly going to feel like stuck and in a funk, because you can't get what you need from a friend, from a family member, from a partner, from a husband. You have to give those things to yourself first. And I knew that there was no one that could make me feel better. There's no one that could get me out of this funk. I knew that it was my responsibility to find some easy, simple ways to reignite my passion for healthy eating and moving my body. Like I said, in all those simple ways, buying the activewear, trying new recipes, all those kind of things. I knew that the responsibility of getting my mojo back all came down to me. And that's one of the main key takeaways I want you to get from this episode. You cannot get what you need from someone else. It all has to come from you, because at the end of the day, you are the only person that you can rely on, and you need to give those things back to yourself. So if you're feeling in a funk, you're feeling like maybe your funk's not going to end, it's not someone else's responsibility to fix that for you. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to make those small changes and to do those small things. And then, like I said, when you start doing those things, that vibrant, energized person that's really interested and keen to work on their wellness, and they're in to eat well and to meal prep and to go for a walk and do their daily Pilates and all those things, she'll come back. But like I said, it is your responsibility to do those things to find her again. I'm back into my normal routine. I'm super excited about all of the new recipes and all the new meal plans and everything I get to create for our Healthy Eating Hype Gal members. And I'm definitely out of my funk. But like I said, when I was in it, it's not a great place to be. It doesn't feel very good. You feel very flat and just kind of not like yourself. So if you are feeling like that, please try some of those steps and those tips that I've mentioned in today's episode, because as often as women, we get stuck in this thing of like, oh, well, I'm in a funk, so I better do something drastic, quit what I'm doing, start a new program, restrict my food, eat less calories. And often that's not what it takes. Often it's just, like I said, get some activewear, buy a cute water bottle, try some new recipes, and just remind yourself that however you're feeling, it will pass. It's not going to last forever, but it does require you to make just a few small changes to help you get your mojo back. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I just love recording these podcasts for you and sharing my tips and learnings with you. And I hope that you get so many key takeaways from each episode every single week. If you do love the episode, don't forget to subscribe, and it would mean the world to me if you had 2 seconds to leave a review for the podcast below. I'm so grateful for all of your reviews and feedback so far, and I will see you all in our next episode of the Healthy Her podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.